Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Isc Sports Network Football Friday night here on the network, and a special one. It's tournament action time. We're at Monrovia High School. Thad Vanier, Jan Bozier here with you. The cadets of Cascade coming just down the road to take on the Bulldogs of Monrovia. They just met each other 2 weeks ago, but Jan, as we talked about off the air, you throw that all out the window. It's week one of the tournament action here tonight.
You win, you move on. It's that simple, and both these teams are young. Both of them have struggled at times. But all that doesn't matter. You go out and play your best ball and move on if you win.
As I mentioned, these two teams just saw each other 2 weeks ago. Monrovia came out on top 30. Was the success they had on the ground 2 weeks ago, 350 yards rushing the football.
Well, that's Monrovia football. If Monrovia wins, that's the offense dominates. They run their belly offense. We'll talk a lot about that today. And if they run it well, they can win.
These two teams obviously very close to each other as far as proximity, but now also competing in the same conference in the Indiana Crossroads Conference, so they will see each other a lot. This is going to be round number one of Sectional 37, and as we mentioned, these two teams had just seen play 2 weeks ago. Cascade comes into tonight 2-7 overall on the season. They won both of their non-conference games this year over Cloverdale and North Putnam. Monrovia comes in with a matching record, 2-7 as well. They won at Edgewood in week number 2, and then they beat these cadets in week number 8 for their lone conference win. And Jan, as you mentioned, a couple of young teams would also here tonight as well. Connor Simmons, the head man for Cascade, 2-7 his first year at Cascade High. Monrovia, Andy Olson, the head man on the sidelines for them, his first season as a coach here at Monrovia. He was here on staff a few years back when they won the state championship in 2015. He left to be an offensive coordinator at Lebanon. Now he's back, but he's the guy in charge here from Monrovia.
And I think he feels a little bit of pressure after talking to him and whatever. You know, Monrovia's won a state championship. They're a community that loves their football. If people could be here, this place would be packed no matter what the record is. And they love their football here. So I think he feels all that, and he wants to do really well tonight.
We talked to Mark Janes, who is the unofficial mayor of Monrovia.
Or official.
Earlier this week, and he had mentioned that Coach Olson, when he was here, really loved the community, liked the aspect, really dug what was happening here at the school, and he was very excited about the opportunity to come back here and lead this Bulldog program.
Yeah, and I think because Olson had a taste of that success. He grew up with it, coaching as an assistant coach, and was with a lot of that success. He's known around here, and there are a lot of advantages to that type of environment when you could come and take over a program that you have a lot of familiarity with.
This is our Endeavor Communications pregame show. Thad Vanier and Jan Bozier here with you. As we mentioned, this is week number 1 of the IHSAA High School Football Tournament. For classes 1 through 4, everyone is in action starting today. Classification number 5, just one game on the docket in 5A. That's Decatur Central and Terre Haute North. Everyone else in 5A and 6A will get underway next weekend, and then as annually happens, we will start our march. We will start the road to Lucas Oil Stadium in Thanksgiving weekend. And Jan, anytime you get into the IHSA tournament, the level of intensity obviously ratchets up, but a lot of times the level of play will also go up a notch.
Well, it should. You know, Indiana is one of the few states allows everybody to be in the tournament, and I like that because it gives you the ability to exercise a lot of things during the season. Maybe you didn't have a lot of success, but you still get the chance to upset somebody and then advance in the tournament. So, boy, you can see right now the rain is really starting to come down. It's been pretty quiet. Now it's coming down pretty strong.
We'll keep an eye out on the weather. Right now, here in Monrovia, as you can see the rain coming down just into the mid-60s right now with the rain coming down, but we anticipate the rain to continue to fall here for about an hour or so, but we expect it to pass through by the time we get to halftime. Temperature will dip a little bit, but hopefully not much more rain after maybe the first quarter or quarter and a half here from Monrovia and Hadley Field. Give you a look at some of the things going on around the tournament. Tournament success for each of these teams. Cascade all-time in the tournament dating back to 1985. They are 19-35 overall. One sectional championship to their credit. 1992, that was a 2A sectional championship. For Monrovia, they go back to 1978 in tournament action. They are 43-35 all-time in tournament play. They've won 5 sectionals, 4 regionals. They've had 2 semi-state championships, obviously 2 state finals appearances, and 1 state championship coming back in 2015.
Hey, and these young men don't care for they go out and play outside in the rain. So this rain is not going to bother. The field's in pretty good condition, especially the type of offense. People always ask me, who does the rain favor? Does it favor a running game or a passing game? And I say I'm not sure it really favors either one for this reason. People always think, well, it'll hurt the passing game. And, yes, it could. But as a receiver, you know where you're going. The defender doesn't know where you're going. So just a little slip and you could get in a lot of trouble. So we'll see who the rain favors tonight.
The Cadets will kick it off. Monrovia is set to receive here at home, and a little bit of issue corralling that kickoff, and he's going to fall on the football, and the Bulldogs will start off 1st and 10 from their 18-yard line. Get to our starters here first for the Bulldogs in their home green uniforms here tonight. Up front for the Bulldogs will be Waylon Petty, Bales, Huffman, and Massey. Tight end as Hunter Leeds. Wide receiver, Ethan Payne. Wingback will be Gavin Followay. In the backfield, Brayton Belcher and Hunter Ray. We'll focus on number 40, Ray, here in just a moment. And under center, the senior for the Bulldogs, Dalen Clements.
Well, so much for the little rain. It is absolutely pouring right now.
Clements under center, turns around, and he's going to hand it off to Ray. Ray with some positive yardage.
Well, we'll talk a lot about the offense on both sides. Monrovia, obviously, bread and butter is to run the football. Now, it's a belly-oriented offense, but they'll run a lot of different sets. You won't always see a T formation. In that case, you see an I formation. But at the end of the day, Monrovia wants to run the football. And if I want to run the football like Monrovia does, I'm kind of glad I got the ball to start the game.
Starting defensive unit for Cascade, they will set up in some 3 look for the Cadets. There's another inside handoff. That one goes to Belcher, the fullback. Up front for the Cadets, Noren, Nogel, Phillips, and Farmer. The linebackers will be Mantooth, Alderson, and Smith. And in the defensive backfield, DuBois, Creech, Chmielewski, and Hurst.
Well, Cascade coming to the season with 6 returning starters on defense. If you're going to beat a team like Monrovia, that you on defense, you have got to stay low. The key tonight for Cascade is slow, really clog the field, as much. That's a problem.
3rd down here for Monrovia, and a whistle. Looks like it could be a false start, but we'll wait for the official call. Going to be defensive offsides against Cascade.
Yeah, and that's an unforced mistake. You can't make mistakes like that. You, as a defensive lineman, you can see where the ball's at, and there's no sense of lining up all. Know where you're at as far as lining up where the ball's at. In a game like this, if Cascade is going to win tonight, they cannot beat themselves. They cannot make these mental mistakes. So hopefully that's one they get out and can move on here.
That's going to be enough to give them a 1st down. So 1st and 10 now for the Bulldogs. Turns and hands it off to Ray, and he is hit in the backfield, and a nice tackle back there by Liam Farmer, number 1 for the Cadets.
Yeah, and Farmer really gets a nice jump on it. Now, this is take a look at this. This is a long developing play. It's the second man through, and as a lineman, you got to hold your block even much longer because it's such a long developing play.
We mentioned number 40, Hunter Ray, for Monrovia. He is filling in as the starting running back here tonight in place of the leading rusher for the Bulldogs on the season, Kamick. Kamick 2 weeks ago against the same Cadets team had 8 for 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hunter Ray has had some action, and that time he puts the ball on the ground, and it's Cascade football.
Boy, and it was a fumble, and Cascade's really pumped. Cascade's defense really played well that time. That tackle was by number 28, Henry. Linebacker position. See, he had his head up, he knew where the ball was at, and then attacked the ball. That's really nice defense by Cascade.
And so Cascade with the first turnover force here tonight, and we'll see if they're able to take advantage of the Coach Simmons for Cascade earlier in the week, and when I was speaking with him, he said, it's been a busy week. It's my first tournament game as a head coach. A lot of things going on, and he's like, but we're really excited about the program and the kids we've got. And he was like, we've had a great week of practice, and so we're looking forward to Friday night.
If I'm Cascade, I come out here and play loose and have fun. I keep telling my kids, just have fun. Go play.
That time they pitch it out to the left. Good positive yardage there on the opening run of the game for Cascade, and that was number 17 on the carry, Zarek Kimiluski.
Well, you mentioned earlier that Cascade got beat here earlier in the season, 36. Here's a little pitch out, and it's got some decent room. Monrovia gives up the edge a little bit here, and Cascade's got to be pretty happy with that. And their march, this could be huge. If Cascade could get on the board first, what an uplift for them.
Back to Kimiluski, and he is hit immediately and stuffed in the backfield. Hunter Leeds, number 21, first there for the Bulldogs.
Boy, and Hunter Leeds just said, you're not going to do that to me 2 times in a row, and got a great jump on it. He's just a junior and makes a solid tackle on that side, a good solo tackle by number 21, Hunter Leeds.
Makai Tharp is the sophomore quarterback for Cascade on the season, 823 yards, averaging just shy of 92 yards per game, 11 touchdowns through the air, 11 interceptions through the air for Tharp. Steven Alderson coming in tonight as the leading rusher for the Cadets, 465 yards and 52 yards a game. Timeout on the field. We'll take it with you. 8:05 to go in the first quarter on the ISC Sports Network.
Runs out of a tackle. Hamilton will score. Touchdown, Greyhound.
They're going to say it's a touchdown.
77 yards. Keeper, touchdown. Diving grab.
One-handed grab on the sideline. Oh, my goodness.
What a catch. Falls out. Boom, right there. Ball game over. What a way to start the season.
Back here at Monrovia. Just into our first quarter, a timeout on the field. No score yet in our contest, but Cascade in scoring position here early in the contest. And Jan, we talked about it in the pregame show. These two teams have now seen each other. This is the 4th time in 2 seasons. They've seen each other a lot over the years, not only being in near proximity to each other with a little bit of a rivalry aspect to this matchup, but now also in the same conference, in the Indiana Crossroads Conference, and in the same sectional. What does that do, the familiarity between these two programs?
I just think it ups the rivalry, especially, it's one thing in the regular season, but then now in the tournament time, the very first game. So there's a little edge when when you can tell the guy across from you by his first name versus his number, you've played against him quite a bit.
Probably seen him a couple times.
Yes, sir, and you know, a little jaw talking, it just adds incentive to play hard. I tell you, Cascade's got some decent size on that front line, and so far they're doing a really nice job here getting off the football.
That time it was Dane Du Bois under center, number 21, kept it himself.
Well, a lot of high school football is flat out just to get your kids to believe, especially when you've had a tough season and you've not won the amount of games. What you have to do is mentally get them just forget about all the negative in the lost games and just get them focused on the task at hand. Guys, we can do this. Let's put our best game together.
3rd and 8. Tharp hands it off and hit immediately in the backfield and taken down.
Well, I'm not sure if he was untouched or what, but
looked like it was Lennox Kachuk in first. Yeah, it was number 1 for the Bulldogs.
Now, let's give him credit for a great tackle, but I wish I had more opportunity not to get touched coming through the front line. He did everything right. He can't worry about it if nobody touches him, but that's obviously a mistake, and it's a costly mistake by Cascade because they turn the football back over.
So after great field position off the turnover, the Monrovia defense makes a stand, and they get the football right back to their offense. And now Clement's under center. And Clement's going to keep it himself off the right side out near the 30.
Well, and this is a part of the belly. This is the belly option. And if you're going to run the belly, you have to be able to run the option because that's what spreads the field. And you have a quarterback, take a look here, who has to sell the fake. And he'll either hand it off, reads it. Some quarterbacks, the coaches will give them the green light to make their own decision. And you practice on that. Others are already predetermined on whether they're going to hand it off or not. Really depends upon the maturity of the quarterback, whether they allow them to make their own decision or not.
Clements this time hands it off to Belcher, the fullback, and Belcher positive yards and a first down out to the 39.
Boy, that's just great determination that time, running the ball around that left side. Take a look here at number 42, Belcher. So you've got to keep your head up when you tackle, especially on a wet field. If you let that head go down when you're tackling and wrapping, you're going to have trouble bringing people down. And his head went down, and then he lost him.
Belcher's a 6'2", 180-pound freshman here for the Bulldogs. Coming into tonight, 373 yards on the ground and 4 touchdowns for the young man. And there's Hunter Ray once again. We mentioned Ray. He's stepping into the starting role here at running back for Todd Kamick. Kamick coming into tonight to the postseason, leading rusher on the season for the Bulldogs. And Ray is going to be an important factor when we talk to Coach Olson. Not only he's going to take over the duties as the running back, he's their middle linebacker as well on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and you'll see a lot of these kids on both sides go both ways. But you're getting a sense here right now. Monrovia is starting to get a little momentum going in this offense, getting 2 to 3, 4 yards per carry. And there's a free. Yep.
Looks like the defense jumped, and there comes the flag.
And you'll see that a lot out of the belly offense because you always are trying as a defense to get an advantage. So you're sneaking up. You're doing anything and everything you can defensively to get a stop. And that's great coaching by Monrovia because somebody upstairs sensed the fact that they're getting a little crowded, so you go with that quick count and you get a free 5.
That'll set us up now at 2nd and 1 for Monrovia, out to the 48. Just over halfway through our first quarter. Hand it off to Ray, and Ray just bowling his way for a first down and into Cascade territory.
And did you see, Thad, how he had his arms around the loaf of bread? Because it's obviously going to be wet. Now look how he holds on to the ball here. This is smart. You might as well start doing it early. Practice it right now as far as how you're going to hold the ball because it's not going to get any better as the game goes on. And this ball is going to be squirting around everywhere if you don't secure it. So it's a great job of how he was holding the football.
And when you get into tournament action here in the state of Indiana, you get into late October, you can even get into early November. The weather becomes a factor in some of these tournament games. Hand it off again to Ray. And, Jan, you talked about a little bit of momentum. It also looks like this front 5 for Monrovia is starting to settle in a little bit.
Well, and that's one of the keys to the game, that Monrovia's front line has to dominate. See the front line here? You get off low, and if you in this belly offense, if you can give him 1 to 2 steps through the line without getting touched, then the belly offense is going to be pretty successful because it's hard to stop once you get things moving here. And right now, Monrovia is really moving.
Inside the 40-yard line now for Monrovia. Clements with a late handoff. Luckily, he got that off to Belcher, but there was nothing doing there and maybe a loss of a yard.
Well, that's the counter, and that's one of the plays you'll see out of the belly is the counter trap. The problem with this when it's raining is the quarterback has to do a complete 180 out of the counter, and with your footing being just a little soft, he didn't get all the way around to hand it off. But you'll see a lot of counters. You'll see a lot of traps out of the belly.
3rd down and 4 now for.
Look at these fans. Those are fans. When you sit out there and put up with that, those are true fans.
As we mentioned, the rain coming down right now, but we hope it subsides by halftime at least. And another nice hit in the backfield And that's Alderson for Cascade and a loss of a couple for Monrovia.
Well, they needed that because all the momentum has been on the side of Monrovia. Take a look at the tackle here. This is a great shot. I love this lower shot because it gets you inside of the front lines, and that's going to be where this game is won and lost today, is in the offensive front line and the defensive front line.
4th and 6, and it looks like the Bulldogs will elect to punt it away.
This good stop by Cascade, assuming they get the ball here.
Belcher back to do the kick. Decent kick, but a great bounce inside the 10, and it's going to check up at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, and this is going to be playing field position for Monrovia. Cascade's going to take over in way deep territories. That's going to put some pressure now on their offense to get out of this area, because if not, Monrovia is going to have really good offensive field position when they get the football back. So Cascade really needs to put a drive together here with 2:37 left here in the first period.
Second possession now for the Cadets. First time they took over, they were inside Monrovia territory. Great field position, could not take advantage. Now they're going to have to go 92 yards for a touchdown. They pitch it out to Alderson, and a loss of a couple, and the Bulldog defense attacking in the backfield.
Yeah, this is great pursuit by multiple Bulldogs. And there's Hunter Leeds again. You already mentioned his name multiple times. Take a lead, number 21 here, Leeds. Just a great pursuit angle again. And he's making a statement over on this side. Guys, if you come over here, I'm going to be here too. And he's really doing a nice job of defensively making some stops.
Second down and long for Cascade. Tharp pitches it out to Kimalewski. He's got some blocking out there, and he's out to about the 10.
Yeah, there's the jet sweep for Cascade on that right side. It's going to bring up a third down. Still quite a bit to get for a first down. But it's a big down for Cascade. They don't get this here, Thad, and they have to punt. They're going to be in some trouble here field position-wise, at least potentially. You kind of wonder here if Monrovia might be thinking blitz. It's a possibility because of the footing, but of course Cascade loves to throw the football. Right now they're really kind of hesitant to throw the football.
Hand it off to Alderson.
Just really being conservative this far back in their own territory, not to make a mistake that cost themselves. So they're willing to give up field position versus making a mistake, and really giving Monrovia something to cheer about here.
Fourth down here for Cascade. Punting unit in. And Kimalewski boots it away. Good kick taken at the 43. Moving to his right, splits a tackle down the sideline. Can he get some blocks? And he's pushed out of bounds finally, but inside the red zone for Monrovia. And on the turn, number 36, Ethan Payne.
Yeah, Ethan Payne, one of the seniors on this Bulldog ball club, makes a good turn around the side here, gets a little bit of blocking. Got to make that tackle there if you're Cascade. 2 missed opportunities, and he just really returns it, and boy, now Monrovia with great field position. Let's see, do we have a penalty? I didn't see a flag.
The officials are discussing.
Well, I think we did have a flag. I did not see it. It was over near the sidelines.
We'll wait for the call. This will be against Monrovia.
So this one's coming back. I think this was crackback blocks, what that is. What I mean by a crackback block, if you don't understand what that means, you cannot hit a man defenseless and him not see you coming, and that's called a crackback block, and I'm pretty sure that's what that call is.
So we'll see where they place the football now.
It's a big one, too, because it's what should have been way down in Monrovia territory. Boy, this thing's getting way back because it's a spot foul, so it happened early in the punt. So this is a huge turn of events.
Place the ball at the 41.
All right, let's see if we can see it on the replay here. Yeah, there it is, 55. You see in Monrovia, you cannot hit a defense. It's a safety thing. Used to, you were allowed to just knock people silly, but now you cannot hit a player defenseless who does not see you coming, and that's exactly what the crackback block call was, and that's a good call because that's a safety. You're not ready to take a shot like that. That's a good call.
Alex Skadoris on the carry there.
Just want to say to our crew, that was a great replay to see why that. You know, when you're home, you go, well, what they call for? They just, no, you see exactly on that replay a defenseless player getting hit, and that really shows you why the call was made.
And a great work there from the officiating crew as well to catch that.
You got 22 bodies out there to keep your eyes on, and that's a lot.
2nd and 8 now for the Bulldogs. Handoff again.
Well, that was
off the left side. That one goes to Ray.
That's a costly penalty, though. I mean, look where they should have been versus where they are. So not only did they take themselves out of scoring, but they really put themselves back, and that's a fast first period.
Basically a 50 or 55-yard adjustment there after that penalty, but that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. Scoreless here at Monrovia. It's tournament time here in Indiana on the Isc Sports Network.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Back here at Hadley Field, Monrovia High School. Scoreless here after our first 12 minutes. Our action tonight is brought to us by the Indycar Exchange. At the Indycar Exchange, they are actively buying collections from all eras of sports cards. Follow on Facebook and Instagram or go to IndyCarExchange.com for more information and to see how you can make money off of your collection.
And I'll tell you, Thad, who's got to be feeling pretty good right now is Cascade. They played Monrovia pretty even there in that first period. So any win of even a small kind can be huge to a team that's the underdog in a ball game like this. Well, the runners are having obvious trouble getting footing to cut that corner, and that's an advantage to the defense.
4th down now for the Bulldogs, and they're going to send in the punting unit once again on 4th and 5.
Well, the rain has really started to become an equalizer because both teams are struggling now, and that can be an advantage to Cascade if Monrovia is not careful.
Low kick and not much of a hop after it hit the turf. It's going to check up inside the 30, and that's where Cascade will take over.
Well, they always say how difficult it is to beat a team twice. You know, I don't know. I've never really thought much about it. The field's the same size. Everybody's the same, but there is something, I guess, psychological about we have nothing to lose. You already beat us once. The onus is on you to do it again, I guess.
Not only twice, but twice in 3 weeks. I mean, they just saw this team 14 days ago.
That's very true. And it was here at Monrovia.
We talked about the history between these two teams. Over the last 35 years, Monrovia has the advantage, 26-15. They've met 5 times overall in tournament play, with Monrovia the advantage 3-2 over Cascade. Last year they met in the tournament, and Cascade was victorious in the same first-round matchup.
Boy, that's a big-time run from Cascade. Maybe their best offensive play from scrimmage. Alderson with just a big-time run over that left side. Good blocking. Excuse me. I mentioned before, Cascade has some decent size on that front line, and that time they really got off the ball. That's by far Cascade's best offensive play from scrimmage.
And that's Du Bois again under center, and on those short yardage, they really like to bring in Du Bois instead of Tharp, and that time they pushed him forward for several yards and enough for a first down.
Yeah, he got a little help. Look, everybody's behind. That's like getting a bulldozer behind your car and say, now stop me. He had an escort. He had help from behind. He was not going to be denied getting the first down there. I like it.
That's like the old Notre Dame USC game, the Bush push right there.
Oh, yeah. Hey, whatever it takes. Here's an interesting set.
Du Bois again under center. This time they try to run it off the left side, and nothing doing there in the defense for Monrovia. There it was, Lennox Kachuk again, number 1.
And don't think both these teams haven't got a few surprises for us tonight. Everybody puts in a couple of wrinkles in the sectional because these teams are so well scouted now. You've got so much film on each other now that you'll have some wrinkles. We'll see some wrinkle before it's all said and done tonight.
It's a good point, Jan, because we talked about them being in the same conference, right? But it's not just how many times you see that team in conference play. You're matching up with all the other teams, so everyone knows what you're doing. Times. Timeout on the field, 9:28 to go before halftime on the ISC Sports Network.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Back to action here at Monrovia. Our action Endeavor Communications. They offer a variety of internet speeds that fit your family or business needs. Surf the internet faster than ever before with internet speeds up to a gig. Contact us at WeEndeavor.com for more information. And Jan, I saw the sign when I walked in through the ticket booth here at Monrovia High School. Free Wi-Fi to all the fans in attendance here at Monrovia High and Hadley Field, courtesy of Endeavor Communications. I mean, they're all over the place doing great work. 3rd and 7 now for the Cadets, pardon me. Tharp pitches it to Kimilewski, and he's going to throw it. Halfback pass, and he's wide open inside the 20 to the 15, and the Cadets are in business.
Did I tell you? There's a little bit of a wrinkle. I'm not sure if they've ran that play before, but that's certainly a little wrinkle. And those types of plays are all about the timeliness of when you run them. But Cascade has not shown really much of anything except run, and so Monrovia – and I'll tell you, Monrovia their two defenders about tripped each other. That could have been 6. So, boy, what a big-time play now for Cascade.
Henry Smith on the catch, number 28 for Cascade. And as we mentioned, they are in business here. They're going to go up. Du Bois hands it off or pitches it to Alderson. He brings it around the left side. And you can just tell by looking down on the field right now, Jan, after that big play, the Cadets got a little extra pep in their step right now.
Well, Cascade's a team that's only scored 12 points in the last 3 games, so they've obviously struggled offensively, but they look like a pretty nice offense right now. And maybe the rain is an equalizer to a big degree, but most of their game is passing, and that's the first pass, I think, that we've seen from them all game.
We have not seen the normal quarterback, Makai Tharp, put any passes into the air, and this is Du Bois again under center. That's just straight away keeper, quarterback keeper for Cascade, and again, positive yardage.
What's the sport? They call that a scrum?
Rugby.
Rugby. That looks like a rugby scrum.
Rugby scrum.
Doesn't that look like a rugby?
It does.
Everybody gets in there, and then it's called a scrum, and they just keep pushing until everybody falls down. I like it. Man, it's still so much for the small rain for a little bit.
By the way, Jan, I don't know if you know this, read this morning. It's rugby championship game night tonight in Australia. They're going to have rugby championship tonight and Australian rules football championship tonight in Australia.
Nice. Well, that's a nice play right there defensively. He just saved a touchdown. I think, was that number one? I
think it was Kachuk again.
Yeah, Kachuk, because it's raining so hard it's hard to see the guys now. So I think it was.
Quickly to boys under center.
This time it goes.
They held him up, and they blow the whistle dead, or blow the play dead.
That's pretty good goal-line defense by the Bulldogs.
And that was a 4th and 1, or maybe a 4th and 2 for Cascade, and they were unable to convert, and now Monrovia is going to take over.
That's a big stop. Man, that's a heartbreaker for Cascade because, boy, they come all this way, and to be stopped on about this 2 or 3 yard line.
I'm gonna see if this works. I'll put the power supply in my pocket.
They'll take over at the 6, the Bulldogs. Clements hands it off to Belcher, and he was hit immediately in the backfield. And on the hit was Wyatt Noren, number 32, the freshman for Cascade.
Boy, he just met him straight up.
And that was freshman on freshman, Belcher and Noren. Look at that, getting a little muddy. Kind of looks like football now.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like tournament football now.
And I'm looking at the radar here, and it looks like this thing should be over here in about the next 30 minutes. So quite a bit of rain right now, but after this, it looks pretty clear. Well, that being said, they're completely soaked, so they probably don't even care now.
Off the left side, and positive yards there on that carry for Monrovia. Alex Skadoris once again.
Here's a look from behind the line of scrimmage. Neat look. And see, there's that fake into the line, option to the left. And what you try to do there is get the line, especially the linebackers. It's not going to affect the defensive line, but the linebackers, the more the linebackers you can get to bite on those fakes, that gives your runner a little more room.
And a good tackle out in space right there by Henry Smith for Cascade. Clements hands it off to Ray. Ray with a bunch of room.
Oh, he's got some running
He's out
room.
across the 30. Can he outrun the defense? He gets hit at the 50 and taken out of bounds at the 45. Bulldogs.
Boy, that's a huge run. Probably the biggest run to date in this game for Monrovia. And with 5:40, they want to get some points on this board before halftime. Nice block up front, left guard, left tackle, and he just off to the races. Probably saved a touchdown-saving tackle right there by Creech.
Left side of the line for the Bulldogs, Jaden Whalen, number 30, Cole Petty, number 51, making some room up front for their buddy Hunter Ray. $5:41 to go here before the half.
Oh,
and everyone moved right there except for the center and the quarterback.
Everybody not on the same page on that play. And, boy, there's a mistake. You know, you talk about the mistakes early in the first 2 to 3, 4 games, but, boy, in tournament time, that's a mistake you shouldn't be making, not on the same snap count. Now, that being said, Monrovia really hasn't made a lot of mistakes in this game so far, so we'll, we're not going to beat you to death over it, but still, when you just followed up from a big run, you got momentum, you got everything, and now all of a sudden you cost yourself 5.
In the meeting a couple weeks ago, Cascade was penalized 6 times. Monrovia penalized 9 times in that contest a couple weeks back.
And teams that struggle to win typically are also teams that have a lot of yards penalized. especially young teams that are still learning, getting valuable experience.
We talked about it in the pregame, Jan. Both of these teams, first-year head coaches, obviously building programs kind of in their own model. How big is it? I know that these teams struggled in the regular season, but to get a tournament win, success for a young coach and a young program?
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. You know, you can't replace the first one. You know, there's something magical about your first tournament game, and especially your confidence. You know, we talk so much about the confidence as players. Well, there's confidence in coaching. You want to believe you're doing, saying, and all the right things. And when you as a coach can get rewarded for that, that's big. That's big because the more people believe into what you're doing, your administration, the kids, the teachers, everybody, and the more everybody works together, the better programs grow.
3rd and long here for the Bulldogs. Clements hands it off. That's Skidoris off the left side on kind of a delayed sweep. Gets it to the 40.
He kind of made something out of nothing because that play really never developed right, and they're pretty fortunate here. This is just, you see the T formation. It's the second man through, but he actually got a few yards out of that thing. That really was never going anywhere, and he made something out of nothing.
We approach 4 minutes here left in our first half. 4th down and 5. Big possession here early in this game.
And either team can, if they can get a score for halftime, especially in a game like this, how big is that going to be?
Ray off the left side gets it to the 35. They're going to mark him at the 34, and he's got enough for a first down.
Here's once again the second man through. This is a Monrovia ball club that's only averaging a couple touchdowns per game. Now they were scoring better in the first half of the season. They were up in the 18 to 20 in the last part of the season, and some of that has to do with the level of competition, although they played a pretty good schedule early on too. Their whole schedule has 5 teams that have solid records, so they've played a tough schedule.
Clements there, good look at him going to the sideline. Yeah, you mentioned the Monrovia schedule. At Ritter, obviously a tough team. At Edgewood, at Linton Stockton, that's to start the season, 3 consecutive road games. Then you get into conference play, pretty heavy with Triton Central Speedway, Beech Grove, Lutheran, who's number 1 in 1A.
Yeah, Lutherans went to the state, and here's another mistake. Now, 1 is one thing, 2 is a trend.
That one was on Skidoris. He jumped from his wingback post.
Now, Monrovia is not going to be happy about this one. They didn't like the first one. They despise this one, especially with less than 2:50 left here in this first half.
That'll set up 2nd and 12 now for the Bulldogs. Still no score, 2:45 to go here in the first half. This is round number 1 here in sectional 37 of the IHSAA football tournament. And Clements keeps it himself into the backfield to the 25, and then just a gigantic pile of humanity before he's taken down.
Cascade's got to get that down earlier. This is a play that, here you see the fake inside. And I'm not sure the linebacker's seen that he had the football because nobody really touches him until 3 or 4 yards down the line here. And now all of a sudden Monrovia is knocking on the door here, and they know it. They know in a game like this where getting into the end zone is going to be a tough commodity to do. Now that you're this close and you're going into halftime, a lot of pressure now, and looks like we got a timeout.
Timeout taken. Just over 2 minutes left in our first half. Monrovia driving on the ISC Sports Network.
Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half.
Throw it up for Tillman. Whoa, my goodness.
122.60 for Payne.
What a swim! 6 of them.
2 minutes and 2 seconds to go here in our first half. We're scoreless here approaching halftime, but the Bulldogs of Monrovia on a nice drive here. Jan, how do they punctuate this with some points here before the break?
Yeah, well, you can see the intensity from the coaching staff right now from Monrovia. They truly understand how important and how needy this score is. And so they're really upping the emotion here and the intensity to try to get that across to these players. Understand, guys, you know, this could be a 6-0 game. So this might be an opportunity that if we can score here, that may be all we need. Now, we don't know that. You know, it's like Paul Harvey. We don't know the rest of the story just yet. But we do know you got an opportunity now, and you really want to cash in on it.
Cascade will get the football first to start the second half, so a big opportunity here for Monrovia.
And Cascade on their side is going, guys, hang in there. Play your best defense. Don't let anything by you. Protect the corners. Protect back.
Clements turns, hands it off to Belcher.
Counter.
He's up to the 20.
Counter trap. Counter trap left. And this is a tough one because if you're that right tackle, there's usually the pulling guard. There, let's see if we can see the pulling guard. Didn't quite see it. It's in there. And if you're a defensive guy coming, boy, nobody's blocking me, and then all of a sudden you get blindsided by that pulling guard. That's the counter trap. That fits in the play calling of the belly.
90 seconds to play here in our first half. Ball at the 20, second and 6. Inside handoff to Belcher again. Couple of yards there and a nice hit. That was Henry Smith, 28 for Cascade.
And I was just about ready to say, Monrovia, you better pick it up here. A minute 10, and all of a sudden they got a sense of urgency in them.
Clement barking out some orders here on third down. Hand off to Belcher again. He gets to the 15 and he's spun down.
Second and third effort. Really good by Monrovia here. What I just cannot emphasize enough how important both sides really for Monrovia if you score here, because who knows how, you know, the field's going to hold up here going into halftime in the second half. But, boy, if you could any way, shape, or form take some points into halftime, that's huge. On the other side, if Cascade could stop him here and keep this thing even at 0, that's a moral victory for Cascade.
Monrovia took a timeout there to stop the clock. 48 seconds to go. They've got one timeout remaining as they try to punctuate this drive with a score here right before the break. There you see the rain.
Well, so much for the rain settling down.
Still coming down.
That looks like a hurricane.
Good look there at the crowd. You mentioned it, Jan, early in the game. Always great support here at Monrovia. Great community atmosphere around the football program. Opportunity here for their Bulldogs to put some points on the board here before the break.
And if I'm Cascade, I'm basically saying, guys, 2 stops. 2 stops, and we're going to go into this game at halftime tied. Look how big that could be from a team that got beat pretty good here a couple weeks back. That could be a huge uplift for Cascade. On the other side for Monrovia, guys, the end zone's so close we can smell it. Let's get it in there.
It's going to be 4th down and 1 here for the Bulldogs. 48 seconds to go here in the half.
Look for a surprise maybe out of Monrovia. Let's see.
Clements, this time they're going to hand it to Belcher. Plenty of yardage. He's inside the 10 before he's taken down.
You don't need any surprises when you dominate like that. We talked about if Monrovia's front line could dominate like they did there, that's going to be tough for Cascade. That left side just flat out got off the ball.
And a whistle on the snap. I think maybe Cascade called for a timeout there.
Yeah, they need to regroup here a little bit because they really got blown off the line on that left side, that last play.
So 38 seconds to go, and you mentioned it a moment ago for Cascade. Their coaching staff's talking to them on the defensive side. Hey, guys, we got to get this stop. We got to keep him out of the end zone. We're going to get the football first to start the second half. How do they line up here? Do they just bring the house, expecting Monrovia, obviously, to pound it up the middle?
I think what they're talking about, when you run the belly, you go belly left, belly right, and you try to suck everybody in, what they got to be careful about is the belly option or the belly pass. Now, Monrovia hasn't thrown much here, but here might be a prime time to kind of get everybody off guard here by either maybe a belly pass or an option outside. And I think that's probably what Cascade's going, here's what you got to look for, because they know what's coming from the belly.
All right, so if you're Monrovia, flip that around. Do you just keep it on the ground, belly left, belly right?
Well, if they got 6 yards off of just the belly left that last time, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If you can get that type of yardage, that's going to get you 6. There's plenty of time for 2 more plays. You only need 2 runs of 3, and you're in the end zone. So I wouldn't get too fancy here if I'm Monrovia. Why take a chance?
And the Bulldogs still with 1 timeout remaining here before the break.
Yeah, let's see what they do here. Interesting situation. Uh-oh.
Little confusion in the backfield, and Belcher's going to be hit and taken down. And first back there, that was Wyatt Noren, the freshman for Cascade.
Well, I'm not sure what the play was. Maybe it was the counter trap again, but those types of plays are real long developing last time, especially if you don't get your feet. Let's see what happens here. Everybody's not on the same page, that's for sure. So that's a costly play from Monrovia now. A little surprised with that. Down there near the end zone, to me at least, you stay away from the long developing plays unless you think you can catch them off guard, especially when they were just so dominant. The last 2 plays were 3 and 5 yards with just pure strength off the line.
Monrovia called their final timeout there after that play as well. Ball's going to be placed at the 13-yard line with 31 seconds to go. It'll be 2nd and 13 for the Bulldogs.
Well, and Monrovia knows it, too. They don't want to miss this opportunity, and they cost themselves one there. Still plenty of time, though. 31 seconds in the red zone down here is plenty of time.
We have not seen Clements put the ball in the air yet tonight on the season. He's 35 out of 90, 7 touchdown passes, 12 INTs for the senior.
We may look back at the end of this game and go with 31 seconds. This game was decided. I think that's how big and important this is right now. When you have an opportunity like Monrovia has right now to score, you need to get it in here, and we'll see. On the other side, can Cascade hold? If they can, how huge is that defensively?
Clements off the end. There's Skadoris, and he's down to the 6 before he's taken down.
Yeah, that's well executed. Fake to the first guy, hand to the second guy.
Now Monrovia's got to hustle. No more timeouts. 15 seconds to go. And Clements is going to spike it, and that'll stop the clock. Going to check out Coach Olson on the sideline here and get final instructions.
You don't think Coach Olson wants this touchdown pretty bad right now, do you?
I think so, right?
If he doesn't get this, he's going to be dreaming about this opportunity right here. I mean, it's super wet. You know, Cascade's played pretty well, all things considered, and you've got an opportunity to score here. You know how bad he wants his team to take this lead going into halftime.
4th down here for Monrovia. 10 seconds to go. Clements, they hand it off to Ray. He was looking to throw possibly, and he was taken down. Nothing doing there. A nice job defensively for Cascade, and that was Noren once again, 28.
It looked like it was a halfback option pass that they were trying to develop. Maybe he had an option to run it or pass it, but you could see the receiver. Let's take a look at, here he comes. He's trying to sell run here. He clearly thought about passing, but Cascade, give him a lot of credit, stretch this thing out, and really does a good job of holding here. Boy, that's a missed opportunity by Monrovia. It really is.
And the flip side of that, Cascade is super pumped about that stop on the defensive side. Just 5 seconds to go here before the half, but as I mentioned, they're going to get the ball to start the second half.
I got to admit, I'm a little surprised because the way they were running just power football, belly left, belly right, they were getting 3 and 4 and 5 yards and kind of went away from that.
Du Bois takes a snap and takes a knee, and that's going to take us to halftime. First half of tournament action. We've got no points on the board, but a good football game so far. Cascade 0, Monrovia 0. It's halftime on the ISC Sports Network.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown. That ball wiggles
went
in
in.
and into the back of the net.
Throw it up for Tillman. Whoa, my goodness.
122-6-0 for Payne. What a swim. Six of them.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton will score.
Want lightning-fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town. So you can download huge files in a flash. Stream videos at blazing speeds. And game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast. And contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Runs out of a tackle. Hamilton will score. Touchdown, Greyhound.
They're going to say it's a touchdown.
77 yards. Keeper, touchdown.
Diving grab. One-handed grab on the sideline. Oh, my goodness.
What a catch. Falls out. Boom, right there. Ball game over. What a way to start the season.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the Isc Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the Isc Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Back here at Monrovia, halftime. It's 0-0, Cascade and Monrovia. First round of IHSAA football tournament action, the Cadets and the Bulldogs. And we've got a special treat here for you at the break. We're joined now by the unofficial mayor of Monrovia, Mark Janes, is joining us. And Mark, first of all, thanks for the information this week leading up to the game. But it's always a joy to have the voice of the 500 here with us.
Thank you. Happy to be here. And, my longtime hometown. I mean, Monrovia graduate. I was raised here, and I was head football coach here and coached a lot of other sports over the years. And, spent a few years in Beech Grove, which I recall fondly, but had the opportunity about 4 years ago to come home, and I'm sure glad I did.
Always great to give back, and you're a guy focused here at the high school. You've got a couple of different duties that you kind of walk us through everything for a guy like you giving back to your hometown.
Well, and you said that best. I mean, Niall Denny, God rest his soul, was my elementary school principal out at Hall, which was the birthplace of John Wooden. And, he told me in 5th grade after he watched me play softball a couple of days, when I told him I was going to be a Major League Baseball player someday, he said, well, I watched you play softball for a couple of days. You're not very good. You might want to rethink that. So with that, he actually at that age got me interested in a career in broadcasting. And then, I have so many influences, and some of these, for you sports fans, will remember these names. That Dave Oberle, the late Wayne Staley, longtime coach at Terre Haute North, Mike Gillen over at Mooresville, Jim Kaiser, a Hall of Fame coach from Avon, Rex Nichols in the Hall of Fame as an official. All of those guys, Doug Coddington, who's here tonight, were influences on me, and they helped me really, along with my parents. They provided me with a solid foundation, and I don't think that I would be where I am doing what I'm doing as the voice of the 500 and with you guys from time to time and the other networks that I work for without the support that I got, the opportunities that I got here at this school. And so I can't ever repay that debt, and that's what brought me back here.
Well, I got to tell you, Mark, not to date myself, but West Valley, you were always on High 99 when I was in the car with my parents, and then I always give Coach Lovell a bunch of grief as well, because that was like the highlight of my Friday and Saturday nights driving home from the basketball games with my parents. We'd turn on Coach Lovell. He always hates it when I bring it up because he says he's much older than that.
At one time there when I was doing basketball, we had John Crooks at Northview, Steve DeGroat at West Vigo. We have Pat Rady at Terre Haute South, Jim Jones at Terre Haute North. Your Shakamak Lakers had Coach Allen and Coach Hart at Duggar, and Dave Clark was at White River Valley. And, well, I'll tell you what, I don't know. I understand the 50s were the glory days in Terre Haute, but in terms of the Wabash Valley, I think you'd have a hard time, finding a better period of time than that was for sure.
It was pretty strong. Yeah. Late 80s, early 90s around that neck of the woods.
No question.
Very strong with talent.
Yep.
All right. You also, as we talked about, the voice of the 500, but also the voice of IndyCar as well. Big race coming up on Sunday at St. Pete. Championship still up for grabs between Dixon and Newgarden. So what do we expect to see down at St. Pete?
Well, I think the numbers stack up heavily in Scott Dixon's favor. I mean, he started the season with 3 straight wins and really had consistent runs throughout the meat of the schedule. And it has only been lately that he's bobbled a bit and kind of cracked that door open for Joseph Newgarden a little bit. But if you're hoping that he makes a mistake in order for you to have the chance to win, I don't think you like those odds because, I think in all of his starts and all of the years that he's been racing, I think he's finished like 87% of his laps. And I think that's where he is his greatest. When he doesn't have the car to win, he still finds a way to get a top 5 or a podium, and I think that's what Joseph faces. But, given the fact that the lead went from well over 100 points about 4 races ago down to where it is right now in the 30s, anything can happen, and I think Joseph is going to give it his best shot for sure. But well, I tell you what, it'd be a huge, huge story if Scott Dixon did not win another championship.
Yeah, they don't call him the Iceman for no reason.
He's earned it for sure.
So, been an interesting season, obviously. Different kind of setup for the 500 this year with no fans, but Takuma Sato, a champion. You've built, I guess the series is built with some extra races at the Speedway this year and then a pretty solid schedule going in to next year as well. What should we look forward to in 2021 for the IndyCar Series?
Well, we hope for some return to normalcy for everyone, not just for our series. But I got to commend, the new owner, Penske Entertainment, and Roger Penske and Mark Miles and Jay Fry of the NTT IndyCar Series, and also the race promoters, the promoters at all the tracks, and Firestone and Chevrolet and Honda and all of the suppliers, because, it has been a fluid situation at best. And there was no blueprint for any of us. Just look at how much different you guys are doing things for sure. But that commitment is there. It's a labor of love, and we're the beneficiaries of it because we still get a call racing. We have done the majority of our races from the studio of Indianapolis out of safety. We send 2 pit reporters who practice their social distancing and whatnot. So, we tried to make our shows as normal as possible. Most people tell us that they sound that way. But, I think, if things continue to go or get to go in a positive direction eventually with this pandemic, we get back to some sense of normalcy. I'm excited about the schedule next year for sure.
Well, Mark, thank you so much for joining us here at halftime. We're going to take a break. It's halftime here at Monrovia. All scoreless here at the break, Cascade and Monrovia High. We'll be back with second half action and highlights coming up next on the Isc Sports Network.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half.
Throw it up for Tillman. Whoa. My goodness.
122.60 for Payne.
What a swim! Six of them.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit WeEndeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
Throw it up for Tillman. Whoa. My goodness.
122.60 for Payne.
What a swim! Six of them.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit WeEndeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
At the break here at Monrovia, we're scoreless at halftime in our first round matchup here in sectional 37. Good look there at the state championship banner here for the Bulldogs back from 2015. This is our Endeavor Communications halftime show. Business phone solutions, more than a phone system. Endeavor offers a hosted, unified communications solution that gives businesses the ability to be accessible anytime, anywhere, on any device. Find out more at www.weendeavor.com. Jan, here at the break, Devin and Jan Bozier here, and interesting first half. We saw some pretty productive offensive drives. Both teams got into scoring range a couple of times, but obviously no points on the board as we take a look at some of our first half highlights.
Well, both defenses really stepped up when they had to stop some drives. And I think that Cascade may have played their best defensive football game of the year. Now, both teams had to take, a very, very wet field. Now, the field's holding up pretty well. That being said, it's obviously pretty wet. But I think that, quite honestly, Cascade kind of used that to their advantage and played maybe their best defensive football game.
Here was the big return on the punt that was called back. Right here was that crackback block, negating a huge return there. They would have had 1st and 10 inside the 20. Instead, they started back on their own half of the field.
Yeah, and never was really able to recover after that penalty. So that penalty was really huge. It probably kept Monrovia from the end zone.
You mentioned the defensive first half for Cascade. Coming into tournament play, they were defensively giving up 34 points minutes tonight. They've pitched Monrovia.
Yeah, and here becomes the surprise. Cascade gets a big halfback pass, and now Cascade's feeling pretty good. They're on a roll. You're thinking maybe they can get in the end zone. But wait a minute. No, they don't.
Nice stop there by the Monrovia defense, and that's where they took over.
You say, hey, 1 yard shouldn't be that difficult. That's the most difficult 1 yard. In all this 100-yard field, the 1 yard between both end zones is the most difficult real estate to try to get through.
Monrovia did start moving the football here, and this was kind of the big payday for them. This was Ray off the left side. He got it all the way across the 50, and they had the opportunity here to put some points on the board. Did the Bulldogs before halftime, and they got it inside the 10, but leading up to a stop here coming up by the Cadets.
Well, both teams had big plays in the first half, but neither was able to get a big play all the way to the end zone. So the big plays, although they were there, weren't worth any points when it was all said and done.
This was off the end there for Skidoris. And they had one last opportunity here before the break, and it looked like they were going to try to throw with a halfback pass, and there was nothing doing there, and a nice hit by Henry Smith, and he took down Ray, and that ended the threat there as we closed out the first half.
Well, anytime you're developing plays, especially when you can't get a quick start from your footing, makes it a little more difficult. And I just felt like they got the last two plays that Monrovia had took a long time to develop and just never took off.
We're going to take one more break here on our Endeavor Communications halftime show. When we come back, we'll get you set for second half action. It's tournament time on the ISC Sports Network.
Runs out of a tackle. Hamilton will score. Touchdown, Greyhound.
They're going to say it's a touchdown.
77 yards. Keeper, touchdown.
Diving grab.
One-handed grab on the sideline. Oh, my goodness.
What a catch. Falls out. Boom, right there. Ball game over. What a way to start the season.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the Isc Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the Isc Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Teams warming up. We're getting close to second half action and the third quarter coming up. And we talk about coming up. Let's take a look at what's coming up next week on the Isc Sports Network. Next Friday night will be Pike at Carmel. That'll be our TV game on MyIndy TV. That'll be the tournament action. Second game, which will be to be determined, which will be myself and Jan will be at. But right now, all you Endeavor Communications people out there, potentially we're looking at a matchup of the Warriors of Danville against Cardinal Ritter. Could be an interesting matchup if those two teams match up in the second round of sectional action.
Yeah, that should be a really good one. If that all comes to a game for us, that'll be a good one. And that's a rematch. That Pike Carmel is a rematch game at Carmel that went into overtime. So don't think Pike hasn't forgot that, because they were a play or two away from upsetting the highly ranked Greyhounds.
Upcoming schedule brought to us by Sozo U Natural Health. Sozo U provides natural health consultations, products, and services to our clients. It is our mission to equip our clients with natural health options to help them achieve their health goals. Located in Crawfordsville, you can like us on Facebook or find more information at www.sozou.com.
Well, I believe the rain has finally quit, or at least if it hasn't, it's so light we can't see it now. But compared to what we had in the first, they said for about an hour, and that's about what it was, and it really came down in that first half.
We'll keep an eye on the temperatures as we discuss. It was supposed to dissipate around halftime, which it has, but the temperature was going to drop gradually throughout the half tonight. We're going to dip down into the lower 40s, but probably not by the end of the game, so we'll keep an eye on the weather.
Well,
obviously, they're not going to dry out, but without any additional rain, we'll hope that maybe the football and the conditions will remain as is.
It's currently 48 right now, so that's very doable. The people that this hurt a little bit are set over there, and that's when you get – if you're playing 48, it's fine. But and you're wet, you're standing, that becomes a different animal.
Monrovia will kick it off here to start the second half. Cadets of Cascade will get the football first. We'll try to get some scoring updates as around the state or as we go through the second half here. But of greatest concern right now is this sectional 37 matchup here at Monrovia. And take a look at sectional 37 here quickly as we kick off the third quarter. Also in action tonight, Southmont and North Putnam, Western Boone and Speedway in a pretty good contest, as well as Seeger and South Vermilion. Those two matching up in the first round. The winner of Seeger and South Vermilion will take on the winner of this game. Seeger and South Vermilion, the best records coming into sectional 37. Seeger at 6-2 and the Wildcats of SV at 7-1 in the regular season.
So I think what's going to be interesting here at that is how is Cascade going to come out after kind of a moral victory, holding, Monrovia out of the end zone. That is a huge, if you will, moral victories. I think there are some moral victories in football. Winning and losing is not one of them, but during the game, if you're a team that's trying to get back on track like Cascade is, the fact they're at 0-0 with Monrovia and they come out now and get the ball, it stopped raining. I think, and you and I talk about this a lot, the first 5 minutes or so of the second half, especially now, may be as important as any game in the state right now for Cascade.
Mackay Tharp back under center now for Cascade. He turns and hands it off to the running back, and not much there, maybe a gain of 2. That was Alderson. No, pardon me, that was Dane Du Bois on the carry.
Well, I think that Monrovia talks at halftime, guys, we have got to finish. You're only going to probably get so many opportunities. We get down that red zone again, we have got to finish.
This time they pitch it out to the right side. Not much there. That was Liam Farmer that time on the run.
Well, Cascade went to the short side of the field. Sometimes you do that just to kind of maybe catch the defense off balance a little bit, because more often than not, defenses are called to the wide side of the field because that's where you think in most cases offenses are going to run. So occasionally you throw a little wrinkle in there and go to the short side of the field just to see if you can catch somebody sleeping.
Third down now for Cascade on the opening possession here of the second half. Tharp looking to the sidelines.
Sorry, both coaching staffs really into this, and they both want this one really bad.
Tharp throws it across the middle and incomplete. That time he was looking for Kimalewski.
That's one other than the halfback pass early on. Cascade, and maybe they'll come out and try to throw the ball a little more, but you see right there he did not get a good grip on the football at all. It's going to bring up a 4th and long, so Monrovia is going to get what should be pretty good field position here.
Kick is away and a really nice punt. Nice hang time inside the 30. Takes a Cascade bounce before it goes out of bounds, and no return there. Nice punt coverage there by Cascade. Kimalewski doing the punting duties for the Cadets. Now Monrovia is going to come over and see if they can carry any sort of, I wouldn't want to necessarily say momentum, but they really got that offense going late in that second quarter, but they came away with no points.
Well, if you're Cascade, you get the ball first to start the second half, and quite honestly, you did nothing with it. So you kind of negated the fact you got the ball first. So now all of a sudden Monrovia, they have the ball. They're going to start way back, but let's see how they come out of halftime and how they produce here offensively.
Not only did you have the ball first, and you said you didn't do anything with it, you only ran 51 seconds off the clock. There was Belcher off the left side.
Here's the left side for Monrovia, and Cascade continues to do a pretty good job. One of the things they wanted to accomplish here against the belly is maintain the corners. And they being Cascade have had pretty good pursuit on these corners.
Hand it off to Ray. Runs over one defender, and I think he's got enough for a first down. John Hurston to make the tackle for Cascade.
Once again, doing a nice job, and he's done this the whole game, is really protect that football going through the line.
1st and 10 from the 37. Clements over to Skidora. Skidora leaps over one defender, and another first down for the Bulldogs.
Well, all of a sudden, Monrovia is really picking on that left side this time, and we have a Monrovia player down, and that's number 40. That's Hunter Ray.
Hunter Ray.
Yeah, and he was.
We talked about earlier that Coach Olson said a lot was going to be riding on Hunter Ray tonight, stepping in as the starting running back for the Bulldogs. He's also their starting middle linebacker.
Well, let's see if he can walk this thing off.
Good to see him up. Take a look to see if we can catch what happened to Ray. There he is, and I'm not sure if
might have caught a helmet in the calf or something down. Here's a nice look here. Don't really see a whole lot. I think he may have just either got stepped on or, and I don't want to underestimate what being stepped on is. I had the biggest guy in the face of the earth when I was in college. He was seriously 7 foot, 480, step on my foot, and even to this day, I don't feel my foot the same. So I don't want to underestimate making it sound like when you get stepped on, oh, that's just a minor thing, because sometimes it's not.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Clements nearly got the Cadets to jump again. And I think that's going to be a false start on the center. And in the backfield there was number 35 for Monrovia. That's Devin Brown. He's going to come in place of Ray. Brown on the season coming into tonight, 27 carries, 83 yards.
Yeah, you've seen the center move the football. That's good officiating. You talk about, of all the things to look at, the fact that he moved that ball about 4 inches, and that's offsides.
1st and 15 now after the penalty. Clements hands it off to Brown off the left side. 5 yards on his first carry of the night.
Well, we're starting to see right now this is potentially going to come down to some type of big play, or can a team put a drive together? Because for the most part, we just keep going back and forth, so that's going to put more and more pressure on these defenses to make sure somebody doesn't make a mistake. Because at least as of right now, very low-scoring game.
The official blows the whistle from the sideline. I didn't see a flag come in. I think there was confusion on the down marker to verify what down it was. So it's 2nd down and 10.
Well, that's the line judge's responsibility. You can see him standing right there in front of the second. If he's seen either on the scoreboard or something else, he wanted to make sure you get it right.
Hands it off to Brown again, and a nice tackle, and he's taken down. That was Steven Alderson, number 31, on the hit there for Cascade.
You see, and that second man through, you're going to see here, is once again just because of the footing, a play that normally Monrovia has some success with. But on the slower field, it just does not create, by the time that he can get there with the ball, the hole's already collapsed. And that play has just been difficult for Monrovia all night.
3rd and 9. Clements hands it off to Brown. Brown up the middle, gets to the 50, maybe just across the 50. Going to set up 4th and about 6.
Yeah, this is the counter trap again. This time, Monrovia pulls the left. Take a look. You see they pull the left guard and tackle there, but they don't really pick up anybody. So really that play doesn't really ever get created correctly either.
You see Liam Farmer on the replay there, number 1. He was kind of the first cadet inside the backfield. He didn't make the tackle, but he was disruptive enough to get that play out of whack.
Nice
now
punt.
The punt, big hop, fielded at the 6, and he's going to be taken down at the 6.
Great special teams.
Nice job on coverage there, number 27, Gavin Followell for Monrovia.
Now this is a time where Monrovia's defense, they really need to play their best football right now and see if they can get field position for their offense. This is a really good tackle on special teams for Monrovia. So Cascade's going to take the ball, but boy, once again, they got their backs against the wall.
Imperative here for Cascade to get some positive yardage here offensively. We saw in their first possession of the second half, they went 3 and out, only took about 59 seconds off the clock before they gave it back to Monrovia. Even if they're not able to put together a long, sustained drive, just a couple of first downs would go a long way here for the Cadet offense.
Well, they've basically abandoned their passing game, and that's been worth about 125 yards per game. And they're not a full-time running game. So all that being said, the fact that they're still tied right now is pretty spectacular for them because they've not been able to have any type of passing game, which is their bread and butter.
That was Farmer on the carry. Good positive run there on first down, gain of 4.
You know who has the terrible job today, don't you? The young people's going to stay up all night and wash these uniforms. their task is huge.
That was Du Bois on the carry again, number 21. So 3rd down coming up here for Cascade. Big 3rd down for the Cadet offense. Good look at the huddle there of the Cadets. And Makai Tharp, the quarterback, going to check back in. Now we'll see if the Cadets want to risk putting it in the air or if they're going to keep it on the ground on 3rd and 3. 3 backs in the backfield. Tharp under center. Turns, hands it off to Du Bois. Shakes through one tackle, gets through another, and he's out across the 20 for a first down.
You know, the first 5 games that Cascade had, they were throwing the ball in the 150 to 175 yards per game. In the last 3 games, it's 63, 61, and 43. So even in their passing game, the last 3, I don't know if that's a quarterback thing or what's going on, but the last 3 football games, they've not been able to pass the football, and that trend is continuing tonight.
Same set with 3 backs in the backfield. They pitch it to Kemielewski, had some problems, juggled it, and he's going to lose a couple.
Well, the third period flying by. Now under 5 minutes left in this one. Both teams just kind of not able to really get a lot of momentum here. Boy, he's lucky he didn't lose that one, was able to hang on.
That was Skidoris on the tackle again there for Monrovia, number 25. But you're right, Kemielewski should be probably pretty thrilled that he even hauled that one in and didn't give a turnover over to the Bulldogs.
Well, what's going to happen here is if Cascade can't get a little more breathing room, Monrovia is going to end up playing the field position game. So this is important for Cascade to see if they can get a first down.
Tharp looking to throw. That one wide of Kemielewski.
I don't know if he's just not able to get a grip on it or not. Doesn't look like it. obviously it's not raining, or if it's raining, it's not enough where we can see it a lot. But let's take a look at his hand. That's not too. That's a little better than it was before. But that being said, the grass is soaked, so every time they set the ball down, it's going to get wet again. They're doing the best they can to keep it dry.
Yeah, you can see the officials on the field with the long towels tucked into the front of their pants trying to keep the football as dry as possible. Probably getting new balls from the sideline about every other snap as well, as Du Bois carries it off the right side.
Well, it's one thing not to be able to pass, but when passing is your bread and butter, that becomes problematic. Monrovia, they'll pass, but it's only at certain occasions at certain times. They truly want to run the football. So Cascade, that's why their offense is just struggling to get any momentum here.
Kimielewski, pretty good punt up in the air. Just going to get across the 50, and I think it's going to be down right at the 50-yard line. And as you talked about, Jan, now it's becoming a little bit more of a field position game here for Monrovia, and there's Skidoris maybe slightly shaken up on that play, but with 3.5 to go here in the third quarter, Monrovia is going to take over at the 50.
I tell you what Monrovia does not want to do. They don't want to go into this thing and get to overtime, because anything can happen in high school overtime. It just takes one little something. And so Monrovia wants to get some points on the board.
And a fumbled snap, and luckily Clement's able to jump on top of it. And he's looking to the sideline. He wants a different football.
Go listen, this one is impossible.
Second down and 11.
I'm looking to see if Ray has come back into the game or not here for Monrovia. And there he has, number 40.
Yep, he's over. So he was able to shake off whatever injury he had. That's good for Monrovia.
Handed off the left side, and a big hit. A gain of a couple there for Monrovia. That was Followell on the carry.
Well, and Cascade's defense has been solid all game. Take a look. Here's a look at the pursuit angle. They're doing the fundamental things really pretty well on defense.
Aaron Creech on the hit there for the Cadets, number 4. 5'9", 141-pound senior. Third down and long. And Clement's going to keep it himself off the left side. Shakes one tackle near a first down. He's going to be about 2 yards shy. And in this field position with this time in the game, I think Monrovia will probably elect to go for it.
I would think so, especially now where you are field position-wise. The game's slowly ticking away here, and any type of score here could be just enough, quite honestly.
4th and 2 for the Bulldogs. Clement's under center. He's got Belcher and Ray behind him in the backfield. Followell lined up at wingback.
Be a big first down if Monrovia could get it.
We're going to hand it off to Ray, and he's got it. 3-yard gain and a first down.
See, and that's that 3 yards dive over left. That's why I'm surprised that Monrovia didn't look at that early on or late in the first half. That's a tough play to stop when you get that type of surge.
Big first down on this drive for the Bulldogs. Clement's coming back into the contest. You know, it doesn't seem like they've been out there as long, but it seems like the Cascade defense has really put in a lot of time out there on the field already. I know that they haven't given up any points, but as we get later in this game, it could be a factor.
It could be a factor, but quite honestly, they played pretty well, and here's another really good stop by Cascade. We're just about ready to tick off the remaining few seconds here in this third period. Take a look at the linebacker here. Nice play. He had the shoulder squared, he read the ball and attacked. Got a great pursuit angle. Good job.
Number 56, Michael Hutchinson, in on that hit. Just a sophomore. You've talked about the belly offense for Monrovia. How much defensively for Cascade? Is this just assignment defensive football, and that's why they're executing so well?
Well, I think Cascade's just playing hard. I mean, they're just playing pretty hard.
Belcher with a big carry. He's got a first down. They're inside the 25 now, and that might be the last play of the third quarter. Good blocking up front, and there was Ray, his backfield mate, out there kind of leading the way. And that'll do it for the third quarter. Still scoreless here at Monrovia. We're going to head to the fourth. 12 minutes to go and maybe some more on the ISC Sports Network.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half.
Throw it up for Tillman. Whoa, my goodness.
122.60 for Payne.
What a swim! Six of them.
Getting set up for the fourth quarter here at Gordon Hadley Field at Monrovia. Good look there at the battle for I-70 Shield. Monrovia just south of I-70, Cascade just north of I-70. The Bulldogs here in Morgan County, Cascade just across the way in Hendricks. And our action tonight's brought to us by Endeavor Communications. Tonight's game is being broadcasted on the ISC Sports Network in partnership with Endeavor Communications. Please send us a note on social media or give us a call to let us know that you're watching. You could do that here from Hadley Field. Free Wi-Fi on this out at this location, courtesy of Endeavor. We get set for the fourth quarter. We're scoreless. 1st and 10 now for Monrovia. They hand it off. And that was Belcher once again on the carry. We talked about this earlier, Jam, but they've really focused a lot on rushing the ball off that left side of the offensive line.
Well, and a lot of times in the belly you go by your strength, whether it be left or right, tackle and guard. Usually you have your stronger combination on one side, and that's usually your bread and butter side of where you're going to run the football.
Skidoris back in. He goes across in motion, and Belcher again, this time inside the 20, down to the 15.
Well, I'm going to go back to your point earlier, and it's a good one. Cascade's defense has been on the field a long time, and now all of a sudden you're starting not to see quite as aggressiveness out of this Cascade defense because they have flat out been on this field forever. But, I mean, at the end of the day, they understand, especially seniors, this could be some of these guys' last time they ever play football, so it doesn't matter. You've got to figure it out.
Clements to Belcher once again up the middle. Couple of yards. We've also been working Belcher a lot here in the second half. We saw him with some good runs in that second quarter, but here in the second half, it's been primarily Belcher and more than Ray.
So many times in high school football, you see at the beginning of the fourth quarter, you see young men hold up for the fourth quarter, and that's why you train. That's why you run sprints. That's why you weight lift, is because of now the tournament, and it's fourth quarter. You're tired. You have to find it within yourself to make a play.
It's time to hand it off to Ray off the right side. He's inside the 10.
And right now, Monrovia's front line, and really let's take a look here. Kind of dives forward, but one of our keys to the game for Monrovia was the front line to dominate. And right now they're starting to do that, and that could be the difference as they are in the red zone here, getting a score because they're really playing pretty well right now.
Third down here for the Bulldog offense. And Clements fumbles the football, and I believe Cascade's got it. Yes, they do.
Oh, my goodness. But once again, now Monrovia has struggled on the counter play. The long developing plays have really haunted Monrovia tonight. Take a look. That's what I don't know if it's a bad snap or he just had it slip through his hands. That was at the quarterback center exchange.
And it didn't look like Belcher was looking for the football either, and it hits the turf, and it was Joe Nogelin on the recovery for Cascade, and all of a sudden, after a long drive for the Monrovia offense, Cascade takes over on a turnover.
And you talking about escaping one. Now, Cascade, with 9:25 left, if they could somehow find a drive to take it in and run the clock off, wouldn't that be something?
Du Bois pitches it off to Alderson, and a nice positive gain on first down. And Jan, 9:20 to go here in the game. We saw a little trickery from Cascade earlier on the halfback pass. Do you think they've got something else up their sleeve that they could dial up here?
Here's what I think. I could be dead wrong, but here's what I think. I think that Cascade is just going to take their time, and if they can get a score, that's fine. But because their offense has struggled a little bit, at a minimum, they want to keep the ball so Monrovia can't score and take it in a shootout in overtime. Now, they want to score here to end this. Don't get me wrong. But obviously, if they can do that, but they've struggled offensively. But if the game comes down to you 10 yards and they 10 yards, that's a different animal.
Du Bois on the keeper. He's in at quarterback again, and he's got enough for a first down. Now, as you mentioned, in high school, for fans that may not know, in high school overtime, you get the ball first and 10 from the 10-yard line, similar to the college rules where each team will get an opportunity, and at some point, you can elect to go for one or two. But for Cascade, rather than have to try to drive the football 90 yards down the field, you can milk this down and you get it at the 10.
They want to score, but right now they're in the driver's seat. They can't lose, at least right now in regulation, if they do nothing but run the clock out.
Hand it off, and he gets carried partially there by his teammate. Saw a flag come down. That was John Hurst on the carry.
And Cascade's going to do everything they can to shorten this fourth period. Guarantee it.
They're going to pick up the flag.
Wave off the flag. This final drive by Cascade could take 8 minutes and 1 second.
Well, you talk about, the 2-minute offense.
Yeah.
You talk about the 4-minute offense when you're trying to milk it. This time.
Let me tell you something. You don't get extra points for beauty. And if Cascade would upset Monrovia, they'd go out of their mind. I mean, it'd just be that big. And Monrovia's got to be coming after the football here.
Du Bois pitches it off to
Look
Farmer.
out!
Farmer's got room. He's inside the 40 to the 35, and he's taken out the 30-yard line, and a huge play for the Cadets, and they are fired up.
Isn't it interesting? I love this. When you break a play, how all of a sudden you have instant energy. Everybody now has found energy they didn't have. That is a big, big play, kind of a big play we've been waiting on in this second half. And I'll tell you, he got off to the races in a hurry, got off to a big first step there, and this is huge.
They had the angle on him on the sideline.
The coach is literally running with him all the way down. Now, Mr. Coach, by the way, you got to stay in the 30s. But oh, my goodness. Now, if you're Cascade, you got to start to feel it here.
Du Bois under center. Turns, hands it off. That's
good stop.
Alderson on the carry. Nothing doing there. 63 in on the hit there for Monrovia. That's Jaden Huffman up front.
Clock continues to run. You got to be wondering, do we have the field goal statistics for Cascade? Boy, you got to think any points here at all could be deadly. Now, footing's an issue. You're in the back of your mind. You don't really want to do that, but
pitch it out to Farmer. Same play they just ran before. Now they're just pushing the pile inside the 20-yard line.
My word. Cascade. Yeah, I love it. They're having a little fun. They got some energy.
On the season for Cascade, they're 0-2 field goal attempts.
Now look at Cascade come off of the football there. Some hidden energy, and Monrovia trying to do everything they can to stop it.
And a timeout was taken on the field. We're going to take it with them. 6:33 to go, still scoreless, but Cascade driving on the ISC Sports Network.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown. That ball
It
wiggles
went
in and into the back of the net.
Throw it up for Tillman. Whoa, my goodness.
122-6-0 for Payne. What a swim! Six of them.
6.5 minutes to play here at Monrovia. We are scoreless, but Cascade, after a huge run by Liam Farmer, in scoring position. And they've really done it, obviously, all on the ground here tonight and on this drive. Jan, how do they punctuate this and get one into the end zone?
Well, I think they use the energy that they have, and you don't need to do anything fancy here. Right now, you take advantage of your emotion. Right now, their emotion is carrying them down the field. This is a good timeout. We're told the Monrovia called the timeout. They needed this timeout. Their defense is playing on its heels a little bit and need to regroup a little bit. That's a good timeout call by the coaching staff of Monrovia, the Bulldogs.
That was Farmer again on that carry. They took the ball inside the 20. 1st and 10 now for Cascade. They get it to Farmer again off the left side. He's got some room. Can he get to the goal line, to the pylon, and he's in for 6.
Oh, wait a minute. Did they say he's in?
Waiting to see the ruling here on the field.
The line official.
There's a flag sitting at the 7-yard line.
Yeah, this is going to go against. This may be a sideline warning because they have been up and down that sideline like crazy. It's exactly what it is. I called that one the play before, and it is. He's into the score. How big is that for Cascade? Hey, give those guys up front on the left side. Look at it, all downfield. Let me tell you something. Cascade used their emotional energy to will themselves to get a touchdown here.
Liam Farmer, after the big play, the big gain, they go back to him a couple of times, and look at him, reaching for the pylon, and he's in. We'll talk about an excited sideline.
Let me tell you something. He's going to go home if Cascade holds on and wins this thing, and he's going to rewind. He's going to rewind this thing, and he's going to watch that touchdown at least 200 times.
How about this, Jan? Coming into tonight, Farmer just 9 carries, 10 yards.
Now this is big. This is big right here because still tons and tons of time. So this thing, extra point, I can't tell you how many close games like this where an extra point missed or made is the difference in a game like this.
It's the freshman Chase Schnarr, number 6. Now flag's going to come in. I'm not sure. I think it might have been a delay of game.
Yeah, it is. Now you're going to think that Monrovia is going to have a sense of urgency when they get this ball back. I'm thinking they will. It's a fun game. You know, here's two teams, both 2-7, but have really come out and played hard. And that's all you can ask out of young people. Play your hearts out. Have some fun. Make it interesting. But this is a tough penalty because now they're going to kick it from the 15, which makes this is not a chip shot now. It's a 25-yard field goal.
On the season, Schnarr's 9 for 12 on point afters. Kimielewski loses the snap and falls on it.
Exactly why you don't want to get a penalty because everything's a little longer. You're trying to do things just a little different than the extra point. So now, good news is for Cascade, they scored. Bad news is they didn't get the extra point. Now Monrovia has a ton of time here. Let's see how they come out. Let's take a look at the touchdown again. Great kick-out blocks on the left side. And look at this young man. You don't think he wants that end zone? Yeah, baby.
18 yards out. Liam Farmer, as I mentioned, he'd only gained 10 yards on the season before tonight. That's his first touchdown as well. First time he's hit pay dirt. Can't come at a bigger time than 6:25 to go in the fourth quarter of the first round of the tournament.
Yep. And I'll tell you, 6 minutes is an eternity. So Monrovia has got everything they need now to answer the bell here and also get the lead.
Cascade will boot it away.
But will the emotion that Cascade has developed through that score and the lead carry over to a defense that's already played pretty well here?
On both ways, offense and defense tonight. So Schnarr will kick it off here for the Cadets. They faked the quick onside kick look. Now Schnarr on the boot.
Wow,
good kick.
Yes, he did.
Taken at the 13, and he lost the football. It's loose. Who's on the football?
This could be the ball game. Oh, Monrovia got it. Oh, my. That could have been the ball game.
Belcher on the turf there for Monrovia to save the possession.
Whoa. Take a look here. This is a tough one because it kind of dived on him a little bit. Cascade gets this, and this is going to be difficult, but Monrovia somehow, some way was able to find it and get back on it. So now, Thad, they're on the 25-yard line. They got 6:22 to go a long way, and you can't make mistakes on the way there either.
Got to go 75 yards, as you mentioned, 6:22 to go. They've got 2 timeouts. Clement's going to go under center. They hand it off to Skidoris off the left side, and he's hit immediately in a nice tackle there. Damon Mantooth, number 3.
Now, if I'm Monrovia, I still have a sense of urgency to me. I don't just think this clock is going to be my best friend.
And they are going to go no huddle.
Yeah, there you go, and that's the right thing to do.
Clements keeps it himself. He just follows Belcher through the hole.
Yep, just a quarterback keeper, fakes the dive, and keeps the football. Clock now continues to run.
Third down here for the Bulldogs. Hands it off to Belcher. He's got enough for a first down.
If that were they picking on again.
Left side.
Left side. That's been their bread and butter all night when they needed the yardage. That's why I was just really surprised they didn't use that left dive to get in the end zone early, because this has clearly been the left side that has been very productive for the Bulldogs.
Inside handoff. That was Ray on the carry. Across the 35.
Clock still moving.
Pardon me, across the 40, I believe.
You don't want to use your timeouts till you get much closer to the end zone, or if you have to use one.
And a whistle, and I think Cascade's going to take a timeout. Yes, they will. 5 minutes to go. Cascade leading 6-0. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. ISC Sports Network.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton! will score.
Five minutes to go. Monrovia with the football, trailing by 6. They hand it off, and he's across the 50, slides to another tackle across the 45, and Ray has the Bulldogs in business.
And I'm not seeing any lingering effects of the injury, so he's good to go. I thought that was a good timeout by Cascade. Anytime your defense is starting to get steamrolled a little bit, you call timeout and let it get their breath and get a little kind of regroup a little bit.
Hand it off to Belcher this time. Not much action there off the left side. Couple of number 4, Aaron Creech, and number 32, Wyatt Noren.
And Monrovia has to take care of the football. Wrap this thing up. A fumble could almost be the end of this ball game. Not quite.
And even though they're keeping it on the ground, they have gone no huddle here in the 4th. Delayed handoff. That one goes to Ray. Not much there. Shy of the 40 at the 41.
Still plenty of time. If you're Monrovia, you want to time it just right. Go in, score, and get the extra point and leave very little, if any, clock left to end this thing. So they're trying to time this thing. You got to be careful, though.
3rd and long. The Bulldogs huddle up. They want to be sure on this one. Clements puts Ray in motion. And Clements is going to throw it. He's got a man down the middle and is knocked away. Great defense by Creech, and then a flag comes in.
Well, they're going to get him, I think, for too much contact too early. Interesting call by Monrovia. They're trying to catch Cascade asleep a little bit. It was hard to tell in fast motion whether he got there too fast. Let's take a look at it. It's the belly pass. I told you you don't throw it very often, but when you do. Oh, wow. Now, he did have the left hand a little bit.
I think it's going to be the left hand on the shoulder pad.
That wasn't much, but sometimes it don't. It's all about the angle and where the official's at. So sometimes it doesn't take much, but it sure didn't look at. Of course, we have the benefit of the replay. The officials don't. Didn't look like a whole lot there, except for maybe you seen that left arm as like I did and hooked him a little bit, and that might have just been enough in the official's eyes. And if it was, then it's a good call.
The other thing, too, in a situation like that is even if he didn't pull too much with that left hand on the shoulder pad, the visual of having your hand up there on the shoulder pad is a lot of times that's enough to get that flag
absolutely,
thrown.
Because if the official's looking at something, turns his head, that's what he sees. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's a penalty called, and both teams going to have to react accordingly.
Ball will be placed at the 27. 3:35 to go. 1st and 10 now for Monrovia. Clements, this time he's going to hand it off to Ray, and he was hit immediately in the backfield.
That is as big a tackle as Cascade has had.
How about the freshman Wyatt Noren in on the hit?
How about that for a freshman? Take a look at this hit by the freshman. Boom. Good tackle. Now the clock's starting to get interesting. Still plenty of time.
Clements this time keeps it himself, and Creech is there for the hit for Cascade. Couple of yards, positive run.
If I'm Cascade, I take a little more time getting up. There's little tricks to the trade here that are all legal. See, when they want this clock to move ahead. Now, see, just take my time, get up here, and force Monrovia to take a little more time. Every second counts. Now, if you're Monrovia, you push them, say, hey, get off me, but
Clements hands it off again.
Monrovia is doing a really nice job of just staying in their offense here. Got some momentum.
We'll set up 4th down here, so Clements checks to the sideline. 2:20 to go.
Two minutes and 10 seconds now.
I think we're looking at a 4th and 4 here for Monrovia. Biggest play of the game coming up. 2 minutes to go.
This is the ball game. Quite honestly, this could be the ball game.
Clements will go under center.
Monrovia needs their best 4th and 4 play they have in their playbook.
They hand it off the left side. No, he kept it himself. No, it was Skidoris off the left side, and Aaron Creech on the tackle for Cascade shuts it down.
Wow. Once again, they don't go with the first man, and the second man through is a long developing play. Let's take a look. That's a busted play almost. See how long it took for the guy to even get there? By that time, I mean, the defense could see the football. That play just really had no shot.
1:45 to go. Monrovia does have 2 timeouts remaining.
Now, once again, that's that same play they went to in the first half. You kind of go, man, you only need 4 yards and over left tackles, your bread and butter.
They pitch it to Farmer. Farmer again, positive yardage. Across the 25.
I don't snap this thing until there's 2 seconds on the play clock.
I was curious to see if Monrovia was going to burn those timeouts early in this set of downs. They're going to hold on to them. 90 seconds left.
There may not be no clock to hold. I think they got to burn one. They're not going to burn it here, but for sure they're going to have to burn it this next time around.
2nd and 5. Clock ticking away. Down to 1:15.
You kind of got this feeling it was going to be one play. One big play, and Cascade found it. Not over with yet, though. Funny things have happened.
They pitch it to Farmer again. He's across the 30. Did he get enough for a first down?
I just think Monrovia's letting way too much clock run off here. Now there's the timeout. And this is a team in Cascade that got beat by 24 points last time they were here.
Just 2 weeks ago, and coming back and responding like this. And we mentioned it too. These 2 teams met last year in the first round of the tournament. Cascade was victorious then as well.
I've never been a huge fan of now you got to have some clock. I get it, but you're almost out of clock here. You're that close to having no clock. They set and watched an awful lot of clock run off in my book.
On 4th and 4, this was the play call for Monrovia. They had Skidoris coming around the end, and then look, Aaron Creech sniffed it out, and he was there to put the hammer on him.
Well, he's sitting there waiting on him. He's seen the ball, and he literally was sitting there waiting on the runner.
We talked about it earlier. This is the first round here in sectional 37. Winner of this game will get the winner of 6-2 Seeger versus 7-1 South Vermilion. Wildcats for SV having one of their best seasons ever on the gridiron. They get a tough matchup against Seeger.
If in a situation where you need 2 to 4 yards, you want your quick hitting behind your most powerful lineman and let it be what it's going to be. And you have your best odds, in my opinion.
3rd and 1 here for Cascade. They hand it off. He's hit immediately, but he falls forward, and Farmer has got enough for a first down, and that should really put the game away for Cascade.
Wow. This coaching staff's losing their mind, and rightfully so. When you've had a tough, and you talked about this in the opening. You throw out the records. 2-7, 2-7. Kids just want to play. Kids want to play. They want to play hard. They want to play and have fun. Nobody's thinking about the 2-7 right now. Cascade is just 53 seconds away from being 1-0.
And I want to go back to this, Jan. How about the hero of tonight, Liam Farmer for Cascade? Before tonight, 9 carries and 10 yards on the ground. He's the guy with the big run. He's the guy with the 18-yard touchdown run. He's the guy that's been the workhorse here in the 4th quarter for the Cadets.
And you just never know. When it's your turn, go make a play. Go make a play. Now, he's going to rewind that play at least 400 times.
Oh, yeah.
And watch it, and that's the beauty of high school football.
He's going to go to the Isc Sports Network app. His family is going to send it to all of his friends and family, and they're going to be loving it. The key is, you're going to give him Saturday. Maybe you're going to give him Sunday, but then on Monday they're going to have to turn their vision to Friday night.
And this is going to be a tough one for Monrovia. They had it within the red zone 2 or 3 times and could not finish in the red zone, and that's what they're going to talk about next year. For next year is they have got to be able to finish when they get in scoring position.
Du Bois takes a knee. They're watching the clock, waiting to snap it. Ticking down to about 30 seconds here now, and one more knee should do it.
Well, not very many people give Cascade a shot.
There's the snap and the knee. And how about those cadets? Cascade 2 weeks ago. I think they're going to go for that I-70 shield.
Cameraman, prepare yourself.
And they've got it.
There you go.
And cadets are pumped up right now. On the road, a place where they just got beat by 24 points 2 weeks ago. They bounced back. They shut out the Bulldogs at home.
Wait a minute. That's not a 3-7 team supposed to act, right? So that's the beauty of the playoffs. You win one, you live to play another week.
And it's what we talked about all the way back in the pregame show, allowing all these teams into the tournament. You get great moments like this. Final score tonight, Cascade 6, Monrovia 0. The Cadets marching on in the tournament. They'll see Seeger or South Vermilion next week, but right now they don't care. They're pumped about getting that trophy. We're going to take a break. When we come back, our postgame show, Cascade victorious 6-0 on the Isc Sports Network.
Want lightning-fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town, so you can download huge files in a flash, stream videos at blazing speeds, and game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Runs out of a tackle. Hamilton will score. Touchdown, Greyhound.
They're going to say it's a touchdown.
77 yards. Keeper, touchdown.
Diving grab.
One-handed grab on the sideline. Oh, my goodness.
What a catch. Falls out. Boom, right there. Ball game over. What a way to start the season.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the Isc Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the Isc Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Back here at Monrovia, it was a good look at the Cascade Cadets, victorious tonight, marching on in the IHSAA football tournament. They beat the homestanding Bulldogs tonight 6-0, and a great look there at their head coach, Connor Simmons, his first ever tournament game as a head coach. You want to talk about a fired-up crew, that's the Cascade Cadets right now, Jan.
Yeah, all of a sudden, everything that they've endured during this season became worth it right there and then.
6-0 our final. Cascade, as I mentioned, they will take on the winner of Seeger and South Vermilion. There's the other look at things right there. Monrovia, they're seniors. That's going to be their last game here as a Monrovia Bulldog on the gridiron. Tough way to finish the season, losing to an arch rival, as is Cascade to them, a conference foe as well, and the battle for I-70 trophy going over to the Cadets tonight.
Well, the sad part about it for Monrovia, obviously, I think there's like 8 or 9 seniors on this Monrovia ball club who most probably just played their last football game, and that's a tough pill to swallow, to lose at home in a tough game. So this one's going to be tough for them, but fine young men. The ones coming back will help rebuild this program. And tonight it was Cascade's night. They hung in there, and the longer they could keep that thing close, they were starting to believe they had a shot, and all they needed was one real big play, and they've got it.
You talked about it, early in that second half. It had the feeling that it was going to be one big play or one big break that was going to make the difference in this game, and it was Liam Farmer's big run for Cascade that did just that, and that's going to be our play of the game tonight. Is Liam Farmer's run, and look at this. This really broke it open for the Cadets.
Yes, sir. Well, it starts with the guys up front. He had a huge hole, and then all of a sudden he found energy he didn't know he had, and this is just a great play.
And I can't get over this, Jan. Liam Farmer's going to be our player of the game tonight. He's for Farmer, just a sophomore, 5'10", 167. Before tonight, just 9 carries and 10 yards on the season. He hits the big play to put him in position, and he gets the 18-yard touchdown. And look at this effort at the end. He gets hit. He outstretches for the pylon, and he gets it in. It's the winning score tonight for the Cadets.
Yeah, that's just a great shot there. Second effort, and I thought he just got stronger as the night went on. He's going to get a lot of glory, and rightfully so, with those 2 big plays. But let me tell you, the unsung hero of this game was the Cascade defense. They played pretty well. They kept their team within shouting distance, and that gave him the ability to, on these 2 huge plays here, to take Cascade over the top.
Cascade defense pitching a shutout on the road in the tournament. You want to talk about hanging your hat on something?
Yeah.
That's something to hang your hat on. Our player of the game tonight, as I mentioned, Liam Farmer, just a sophomore running back and defensive end for the Cadets, 5'10", 167. Our play of the game tonight, it's only 6-0, so you got to go with the Farmer touchdown run, Jan.
I think so.
Coming up next week on the ISC Sports Network, we're going to have Pike and Carmel as the 6A state tournament gets underway after the bye week in 6A and 5A. Potentially, Jan and I will be on the road again. Right now, we're looking at the possibility of a matchup between Danville and Cardinal Ritter. The Ritter Raiders and the Danville Warriors. That'd be mighty fine if we were there, but we'll stay tuned as well to see where we're going to be at on the ISC Sports Network. But 2 games next week. Pike and Carmel will be the My Indy TV game, and our ISC upcoming schedules brought to us by Sozo U. Sozo U provides natural health consultations, products, and services to our clients. It is our mission to equip our clients with natural health options to help them achieve their health.
You're having fun when you want to get your when you want to get your jersey dirty. Don't they call it like the worm? Isn't that what that was?
Yeah.
So you're having fun when you got young men out there doing I think it's called the worm.
Yeah. You got to get your jersey dirty a little bit, too, so you can get in those team pictures. So it looks like you had a little bit more playing time as well. I know that trick from my days. Also want to give a big shout-out tonight to wrap up our coverage tonight to ISC Sports Network brother Jake Query. Jake suffering a heart attack last night, had a massive heart attack. They had a stent put in after surgery last night. So to Jake, the best, full recovery for you. We're here for you. And I know that Greg Mash, Greg Regstraw, his partner Derek Schultz, and everyone thinking about him, Jan and I as well, the whole crew here at ISC, want to give Jake a big shout out here on our coverage tonight as well. Make sure you join us next week as well. As we mentioned, Pike at Carmel. That's going to be the My Indy TV game, as well as Jan and I will be on the road next week. We think potentially Danville and Cardinal Ritter, but keep posted to our Facebook and our Twitter accounts to find out where we're going to be. Huge win tonight for the Cascade Cadets and head coach Connor Simmons. They take down Monrovia here on the road at Hadley Field 6-0. Liam Farmer is going to get a lot of the credit. He's going to be the hero for the touchdown, but make no mistake about it, Cascade did it on the offensive side of the ball. Aaron Creech and the boys making some plays, and they pitch a shutout on the road tonight, and they get the Battle for I-70 trophy. For Jan, myself, and Greg Mash, thank you everyone for joining us here on the ISC Sports Network.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Throw it up for Tillman. Whoa, my goodness.
122.60 for Payne. What a swim. Six of them.